What's up? I'm Zoe with Best Choice Products, and today we're building the narrow arch storage cabinet. Let's take a look. Whoa! So shall we? So I'm gonna open this bad boy, and then we're gonna organize all of our pieces. Man. Ow, it hurt my leg. I could still dump, I normally dump them. Normally that's the bit, you know, I dump it out. I'm gonna cut this whole thing, hopefully. No. Whatever, we're breaking it. Ah! Hi, we're back. I'm gonna start with part one, step one. We're gonna start with step one. G, and then we have H. I'm gonna put them on each side of me. And now we're gonna grab our supplies. And of course, a handy dandy screwdriver, because we're gonna take our part one. These are our cam locks. We're gonna take 12 of these bad boys and apply 6 to each side. Let me pick it up and show you. 2 go here, 1 go here, and 1 go up here, 1 go on the other side as well, on the outermost holes. This is important because the dowels are gonna go on the inner holes later. I'm gonna start with the 2 that we have down here. Okay, let's move on to step 2. Okay, let's pull part G over and lay it flat. We're gonna start attaching our shelves, which is part M, K, and N. This is when you're going to start using part 3, your dowels. And then wherever we have a cam lock, I'm going to dowel. Dowel, 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 dowel. Part M, part K, and part N. We have this ridge here on the inside of part G. You want to make sure that this ridge also lines up with your part K. So we'll have K go here in the middle, and we'll go here towards the top of your G, and then we'll have M go back here. Let's do it. Okay, that's it for step 2. We attached parts M, K, and N to part G. Now let's move on to part 3. So I'm gonna rotate here to the side, push. We're gonna be working right here in these ridges. S and W. I got them right here, southwest, not a bad airline. And we have a part V. Now these 2 are gonna connect these 2. You want this hole to be at the top one. So like this, it'll go W, then S. So we'll slide W in, then we're gonna slide V onto W. And then we'll slide S, maybe not. I think we did it. Oh, did I do it? I think I did it. We're gonna say I did it. Okay, but I didn't do it, but. Okay, so we've got that in there. Let's move on to the next step. We're now gonna move on to part 4, which is attaching part H that we added our cam locks to earlier. For this part, you're going to need part 2s and part 3s, which is your cam locks, your cam locks, right? Yeah. I'm going to pre-put dowels in these spots here. Dowel. This part might be a little difficult, but you got this. Kind of line them up here. Let's attach cam locks to all of them. Okay, that's it for part 4. We're gonna move on to part 5. You're gonna need parts O and parts P. Yeah, I'm gonna lay this flat on its back because we're going to be working on this top part. We're going to attach part 1 cam locks to all of these. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of lay it where it's supposed to go. Well, Now we're going to attach O and P to these sides. You're gonna wanna put dowels in all of the holes that don't have a cam lock. So let's do that really quick. Every other hole. Gonna get a dowel. Keep going down the line since I got extra dowels in my hand. Wow, I grabbed the perfect amount. That's crazy. We're gonna snap these in here. Okay, and then we're gonna secure them with part 2 cam locks. All right, I'm gonna do the other side now, which is P. All right, we're gonna put part 2 cam locks along those, you can see where, right? See what's under the hood. Imagine this is just how I build the rest of it. Okay, we did it. And that's it for part 6. Now we're gonna move on to part 7, where we're gonna take part 14, which is these nice little sticker covers, and part 15, which are the felt pads that go on the bottom. Okay, so I just finished part 7. Now we're gonna move on to part 8. So I'm going to take parts J and part I, and we are going to use parts 3 and 2, and we're gonna make a shelf. And we're basically going to be attaching them like this. So we're gonna attach some part 1 cam locks. No, some part 1 cam bolts to this. So we're gonna do it to the outermost hole on part I, and I'm just gonna screw them in here. So let me do that really quick. Beep, boop, beep, boop. So I've got our cam locks on. A big note for this one is when you are putting part I to part J, you want these ridges to be on the bottom. We're gonna take 2 wooden dowels and throw them on the innermost hole. And then we're gonna plug in part I here. And I'm gonna take 2 part 2 cam locks and throw them on the bottom here. Boop, boop. And we're gonna lock those in place. And we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. I've assembled our part, whoa. And we're gonna move on to step 9. Okay, we're gonna stand up our cabinet now. She should be nice and sturdy. Ta-ta! For step 9, we're going to insert this back wall. Yeah. For this, we're going to be using our T's and our V's. I might need a step ladder. I'm gonna start with 1. And then we put this bad boy on. And then number 2. Pretty seamless. Now you see me? That was pretty good, huh? And that's it for step 9. Okay, we just finished sliding in the back pieces for step 9. We're now going to start building our arch for step 10, the part that I'm the most afraid of. So bear with me and then show a picture of a bear. We're gonna start with step 10. I'm going to need parts F and part A. Oh, we're gonna switch the hardware we're using. We're gonna need some part 3 dowels and part 4 screws. ASMR. So we are going to take this part like so. We're gonna stick some dowels in here and then take our part 4 screws and attach this like so. Let's do it. So I'm gonna dowel here and dowel here. Then I'm going to stick these in and I'm gonna screw on the outside here. And that's it for step 10. So for step 11, we are going to be taking parts E and parts C and building out this arch here. For this, you're going to need your part 3 and part 4 screws and dowels. I'm gonna grab 3 dowels and put them on the innermost hole, right here. And make sure that this cam lock side is facing out with a part 4 screw. I'm going to stick this on here and then screw it in place. And then I'm just gonna do this to all 3 of them. Now we are going to move on to step 12, which is attaching it to part B. For this, you're going to need those part 1 cam locks again. We are going to screw cam locks in all of these here before we attach it to this side. So I attached all the part 1s to part B. Now I'm going to attach the hinges to part Q, the door. I'm gonna grab this guy and we're gonna attach our hinges in here. We're gonna use part 5 screws for attaching the part 7 hinges. So I have our little part 5 screws here. They are smaller. You are going to put this side inside the hinge here. Then I'm gonna just screw them in place. Let me just screw these in. Boop, boop, boop. Now step 12 is complete. We are going to put our door to the side for now and attach part B over to our arch. We're not going to use dowels this time, but we will be using our part 2 cam locks to secure all of these cam bolts in place. So let's slide this in. We're gonna have 2 holes at the bottom here. Boop. So I'm gonna work my way attaching these part 2 cam locks. So 1, 2, and 3. Making sure we're just twisting those to the right to secure them into place. And then we're gonna do these 2. We have our arch built. Look at how cute. Okay, that's it for step 13. Let's move on to step 14. So you're gonna need part U and yourself for this. Okay, these little holes you want at the top because there will be screws going into them later. So note that. Start at the top here, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. This part can be a bit difficult, but you just wanna ride those edges. And if you get everything into the edges perfectly, it should fit like that. Sorry, I got excited. Again, with these holes facing up, because they're going to get screws later. And then just like pushing this bottom into those ridges is a little helpful. Not too much force, just the right amount. I think I got it. That's it for step 14. Now let's quickly attach the top to secure them into place. Okay, so for step 15, we are going to take our part D and we're gonna secure it to the top here like this to secure our lining. You're gonna need two part 9 screws, which are in the bag with 9, 11, and 12. So if you think it's missing, it's not. And we also provide you with an Allen wrench. You want the smaller circles facing down because the screw will fit nicely into this top part. A what? The bevel? This is a bevel? This is apparently called a bevel. You want the bevel facing up. I'm gonna slide this in here and then slide each screw in. We're gonna use this Allen wrench and screw it down. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I thought this part was gonna make me cry. We did it, and that's it for step 15. We're gonna move on to step 16, which is attaching part Y to the front right here so you don't see that wood. For that, you're going to need to locate your part Y, and we're going to use 2 part 1 cam bolts. We're gonna attach 2 part 1 cam bolts on the outer holes. Okay, I have those on, so now we're going to attach them. I'm gonna take 2 part 3 dowels in our big arch here. I'm gonna put them on those inner holes. You want the space to be facing down. And then like so. And then we'll come from underneath and cam lock them with our part 2 cam locks. And that's it for step 16. So now that we finished step 16, we're gonna move on to step 17, which is attaching 4 more of those part 1 cam bolts. These should be the last 4 cam bolts we're using. So this is gonna go here. I think I'm getting better at this screwdriver thing. Okay, I got all of those on, and that's it for step 17. Now we attach it to our beautiful frame up here. I'm gonna need a stool for this. Okay, we are now on part 18. I'm going to try to put this on top. You're going to need some part 3 duals. You're gonna need some part 3 dowels, and I'm gonna pre-put these here. I still have to stand on my tippy toes. Okay, I did it. We put cam bolts now. To complete step 18, I'm gonna put the covers over those cam locks, just like earlier. Sorry, I lied. Now we're finishing it. We're gonna take our part 6, which is our shelf supports, and put them wherever you want your shelves to lie. I just put all of our part 6 supports in. I put them in the middle. That's how I prefer them. You can do it however you want. That is the end of step 18. We are going to move on to step 19, which is inserting those shelves. So you're going to need both of those J's that we worked on earlier, and then part L as well. Part L will go on the bottom shelf, and then J's will go up here. You want this side to face out. You're gonna go in at an angle and then kind of just let it fall. I'm gonna put J in next. Again, just that angle, and then, oh my gosh, we're so close. I can taste the victory. Yeah, the back catches on. Nice and sturdy. And that's it for step 19. All we have to do left is attach the door. Let's attach the door. So I'm gonna pull this a little closer so you guys can see it. I'm gonna put it on my foot so I don't mess up the bottom. No more, no more. Okay, that's close enough. This next part might be a little bit confusing, so bear with me. You're going to locate your 2 part R's. There is correct sides. The raw wood is gonna go facing this. It's like hidden right here. You see that? So you want these 4, what was this called again? The divot thingy? The bevel. You want these 4 bevels facing out. Before you put them there, we're gonna take 2 part 3 pegs and put them on those back 2 holes. You're gonna need part 3 and part 4 for this. Okay, there's 2 holes in here for dowels. I'm going to slide this in. Boom. Why? Why? I'm gonna take 4 part 4 screws and we're gonna screw them into place. Meow. Really easy, right guys? Okay, so depending how you want it, you can put the door on either side, but I'm putting it on this side. You're gonna put this piece on top and the other piece on the bottom. So we got both of those part R's connected for step 20A. For step 20B, we're gonna attach the door. I'm gonna attach the handle right now, really quick, with part 8. Anyways, our handle is nice and secure. Now we're gonna attach it to this bad boy. This part is a little bit difficult. Soft closing hinges. So we just finished step 20B, which was attaching the door right here. So we're almost there, but for step 21, we're going to attach the mounting straps to the back of this bad boy. I just have to turn it around really quick. Let's do it. I'm just going to attach these part 11 mounting straps up here. So next I'm going to attach our part 10 back screws and guides. This and this. So we just finished part 21, which was attaching all of those back supports. I attached them where they followed on the image. All that's left to do is mount it to the wall, but I'm going to stop here. So let's turn this bad boy around and see what we worked on. We did it! We built our narrow arch storage cabinet. Thanks for following along. We hope this helped. Make sure to like and subscribe to Best Choice Products, and we'll see you next time. Bye!